Hi everyone, Monisha here. In this video, I'll be starting a new chapter, Carbon and its Compounds. It is a very important chapter for your examination point of view. So let us start the chapter. All the basic concepts I have included in the first video. You have to be concentrated till the end, else you will miss out the important concepts. Let us start the session. Introduction. Although our cells are 70 to 95% of water, but the rest of our body consists mostly of carbon-based compounds. So carbon and its compounds are very important topic. Since the whole world, most of the things in the whole world are made up of carbon itself. Proteins, DNA, carbohydrates, lipids are all composed of carbon atoms bonded to each other and to the atoms of other elements. These other elements commonly include hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur and phosphorus. Organic chemistry is a study of carbon compounds. The study of carbon compounds, organic chemistry focuses on any compound with carbon, and those are referred to as organic compounds. Organic compounds can range from simple CH4. CH4 is the first element, that is methane, to complex molecules like proteins that may weigh over 1 lakh daltons. By this, you might have known how carbon is important and an integral part of human and animal life. So what is a carbon? Carbon is the chemical element with symbol C and atomic number 6. As a member of group 14 on the periodic table, it is non-metal and tetravalent. Tetravalent means making 4 electrons available to form covalent chemical bonds. There are 3 naturally occurring isotopes, that are C12, C13 being stable while C14 is radioactive. First, we have to know from where does the carbon comes. Occurrence of carbon. Carbon is found in the atmosphere, inside the earth crust and in all living organisms. So almost everywhere carbon is there. Carbon is present in fuels like wood, coal, charcoal, coke, petroleum, natural gas, biogas, marsh gas, etc. Carbon is present in compounds like carbonates, hydrogen carbonates, etc. And carbon is found in a free state as diamond, graphite, fullerene, etc. The one thing you have to keep it in mind. Any object or any substance, if you burn it, if it turn into black color, then you have to understand that substance contains carbon. Next is bonding in carbon, called as covalent bond. The atomic number of carbon is 6. Which is very important. You have to memorize it. The atomic number of carbon is 6. Its electronic configuration is 2,4. It has 4 valence electrons. It can attain stability by gaining 4 electrons and losing 4 electrons or sharing 4 electrons with other atoms. So this one is an important concept. So first, the carbon has 4 valence electron, and how it will gain stability? 1. By gaining 4 electrons, or by losing 4 electrons, or by sharing 4 electrons with other atoms. It does not gain 4 electrons because it is difficult for the 6 protons to hold 10 electrons. It does not lose 4 electrons because it needs a large amount of energy to lose 4 electrons. So, it shares 4 electrons with other atoms to attain stability, resulting in the formation of covalent bonds. So, carbon can get the stability by 3 techniques, either by gaining 4 electrons, losing 4 electrons or sharing 4 electrons. But in the first thing, it does not gain 4 electrons. Why? Because it has 6 protons. And 6 protons with again 4 electrons can't hold that 10 electrons. And it does not lose 4 electrons because losing 4 electrons need a large amount of energy. So what is the simple thing? It shares 4 electrons with other atoms to attain stability. Since carbon atoms needs 4 electrons to attain stability, its valence is 4. Since its valency is 4, it is called as tetravalent. Now we shall know the unique nature of carbon. Carbon has two properties that enable it to form such an extensive range of compounds. So this is very important concept, the unique nature of carbon. First one is catenation, the ability to form chains of atoms. And second one is the ability to form multiple bonds, that is tetravalent. These are the two properties of carbon and two unique properties of carbon. One is catenation, the ability to form chains of atoms, and second one is tetravalent, the ability to form multiple bonds, that is 4 bonds. So this is catenation, the ability to form long chains, and in that there are two types. One is unbranched chain and next one is branched chain. So first we have to know what is catenation. Carbon readily forms long chains of bonds with itself. This property is called as catenation and it is fairly unique, and it results for several reasons. Carbon can make up to 4 bonds. The carbon-carbon bond is generally as strong as bonds between carbon and other elements. The catenated compounds are inert. These things you have to keep it in mind always, and it is very important. Carbon can make up to 4 bonds. The carbon-carbon bond is generally strong as bonds between carbon and other elements, and the catenated compound are inert. The second property is tetravalence of carbon. So tetravalency means making 4 outer bonds. So you can see the picture of the carbon making 4 extra bonds. You can see here the 4 bonds, okay, or else here also the carbon is making 4 bonds with hydrogen. So that is CH4, methane. So this is another picture of tetravalency in carbon, the carbon making 4 bonds with hydrogen. Now let us know the difference between catenation and tetravalency. So first is definition. Catenation refers to the ability of atoms of a particular chemical element to bind to itself, forming chain or ring structures. Tetravalency refers to ability of an atom of a particular chemical element to form 4 covalent bonds. So that is called as tetravalent. Next theory. Binding atoms of the same chemical element with each other via covalent bond. Tetravalency have a valency of 4. Product. Chain or ring structures with atoms of the same chemical element. Tetravalency, tetrahedral, trigonal, planar or linear molecules depending on the number and type of covalent bonds between the tetravalent atom and other atom bonded to it. Examples. Benzene ring formed from covalently bonded carbon atoms. S8 molecule formed from sulfur atoms. White and red phosphorus formed from phosphorus atoms. This is the example for catenation. Next, tetravalency, carbon and silicon, which makes 4 bondings with the other elements. Next, we need to know about hydrocarbons. So what are hydrocarbons? The name itself signifies hydro and carbon. So hydrogen and carbon. Hydrocarbons are the compounds containing carbon and hydrogen only. So these are the compounds which has only 2 elements. One is carbon and the one is hydrogen. If any element consists of only 2 elements, that is carbon and hydrogen, then it is altogether called as hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons are organic molecules that consist of only carbon and hydrogen atoms. But now we need to know where it actually occurs or where it actually is. So it is in a various places, numerous places, and one thing which is very near to us, that are fats. Fats are biological molecules that have long hydrocarbon tails attached to a non-hydrocarbon component. You know, human beings have fat molecules, so that fat molecule is also hydrocarbon. You can see another picture stained in red. Those are fat droplets. Mammalian adipose cells. Adipose cells means mainly the fat cells. Characteristics of hydrocarbons. So So factors that determine the properties of hydrocarbon. So what are the properties that mainly determines the hydrocarbon? First is the number of carbon atoms and how that carbon atoms are arranged. So the carbon atoms are arranged three types. One is straight chain, next is branch chain, next is a ring or cyclic chain. So in three types the carbon atoms are arranged in element. You can see the small picture of it. Next, types of hydrocarbons, which is very important. There are two types of hydrocarbons. One is saturated hydrocarbon and the one is unsaturated hydrocarbon. What is saturated hydrocarbons? A hydrocarbon is an organic compound that contains only the elements hydrogen and carbon. In saturated hydrocarbon, all the bonds are single bond. And this is known as alkane, A-N-E. You have to keep it in mind. Single bond means alkane, A-N-E. If it is double bond, then E-N-E, alkene. And if it is triple bond, then it is Y-N-E, alkyne. So alkane is another name for saturated hydrocarbon. So what is hydrocarbon? Hydrocarbon is an organic compound which contain only hydrogen and carbon. In that there are two types. One is saturated and the one is unsaturated hydrocarbon. Whereas in saturated hydrocarbon, the carbon atom will form only single bond. Only one bond will be there, one line, which I already showed you. So this saturated hydrocarbon or a single bonded carbon atoms are also called as alkanes. So alkane is the another name for saturated hydrocarbon. So next is unsaturated hydrocarbon. A hydrocarbon that contains one or more, that is double or triple bonds, is an unsaturated hydrocarbon. There are three types of unsaturated hydrocarbons, that is alkene, alkyne and aromatic hydrocarbon. Aromatic means which gives good aroma, good smell, is called as aromatic hydrocarbon. So there are three types. I already told you: alkene, which have double bond, alkyne, which have triple bond, and aromatic hydrocarbons which will be having alternating double or triple bonds. Okay, so unsaturated means which contains double or triple bonds, and saturated means which contains only single bond. Saturated hydrocarbon also called as alkanes, whereas unsaturated hydrocarbons are, it consists of another classification of three types: alkene, alkyne and aromatic hydrocarbon. These are the structure of saturated. Saturated means only single bond hydrocarbons. First is, in the row there is, first one is methane. Methane means the carbon will be only 1 and H is 4, because we know that carbon always forms 4 bonding with each other. Okay, so CH4, the structure you can see there, the structure is very important. The whole table itself is very important. Methane, molecular formula and structural formula. If they ask you for molecular formula, you have to write CH4, and if they ask you about structural formula, means you have to draw the tree structure of it. Okay, CH4. Next is ethane. Ethane means second list, that is C2. The carbon atom will be 2 and each carbon atom makes 4 bond. You can see the 4 bonds. Okay, and C2H6. Next is propane, C3H8. Prop means 3 carbon atoms. So 3C3H8. So 3 carbon atom and 8 hydrogen atom. Next butane. But means 4 carbon atom. C4H10. Next is pentane. C5H12. Next hexane. C6H14. So these are the list. Next again heptane will come. Octane, nanane and decane will come. We know that there are straight chains and branch chains. First one is straight chain. A hydrocarbon can contain one carbon atom, as in methane, CH4, only one carbon atom is there, or thousands of carbon atoms, as in cellulose. Okay, so these atoms consist of straight chains. So a hydrocarbon can contain one carbon atom with a single bonding, or as in a methane, or thousands of carbon atoms, as in cellulose. So these are called as straight chains. Next is branch chains. Carbon has an ability to form branches with other carbon atoms also. Simple branched alkanes often have common names using in prefix to distinguish them from linear alkanes. For example, N-pentane, isopentane, neopentane. IUPAC naming convention can be used to produce systematic names. So you have to understand only about two things. One is straight chain, where the bonding will be in linear position, in straight line. Whereas in branch chains, the carbon atom will form branches with other carbon atoms, which will be in the form of branches. So it can be called as N-pentane or hexane or N-butane, hexane, pentane, anything you can call it. The third one is the ring or cyclic structure. Carbon atoms can arrange in the form of a ring or cyclic, such as cyclobutane, benzene. These are aromatic hydrocarbons. So benzene is an aromatic hydrocarbons which gives good aroma, good smell. So these are a ring or cyclic structure. So the carbon atom forms many bonds, and the bonds will be in the form of a straight chain, branch chain, or ring or cyclic chain. These are things you have to keep it in mind. The next concept is isomer. I already told you branch chain, right? So a single element can be written in two ways, either in straight chain or in branch chain. The formula will be same. The molecular formula means if it is C2H6, that is ethane, the formula for straight chain and branch chain will be same, but the structure will become different. Okay, that is called as isomerism. So I will explain you in this video. Two compounds that have same molecular formula, the formula is same but a different structural formula, are called as isomers. Isomers have different properties even though they have same number and types of atoms. It is the structural formula that determines the properties of each isomer. So isomers means two different compounds. So there are two different compounds where it has same molecular formula but different structural arrangement. So what is isomerism? The organic compounds having same molecular formula but different structures are known as isomers, and this phenomenon, this process is called as isomerism. In other words, the organic compounds having the same molecular formula but different arrangements of carbon atoms in them are known as isomers. So this definition is very, very important according to your examination. So examples for isomerism. You can see here, it is first one is N-butane and second one is isobutane. You can just count the number of carbon atoms. C4. There are 4 carbon atoms and there are 10 hydrogen atoms, right? So C4H10. You can again count the isobutane. Again it has 4 carbon atoms and 10 hydrogen atom. The formula is same, C4H10, but the structural arrangement are different. One is in straight chain and the one is in branch chain. So this difference of construction of a particular compounds where the molecular formula of both the compound is same but the structural arrangement of both the compounds are different. So this concept is called as isomerism. Example is N-butane, isobutane, and second one is ethanol and dimethyl ether. Both have, you can see the formula of it, C2H6O. Okay, C2H6O, but you can see the difference in the arrangement of it. This is the basic concept of isomers and isomerism. They will usually ask you the definition and also to write one example of it. So either you can write about butane, or in the same way you can write pentane, ethanol and dimethyl ether. Any of one example you can give. So isomerism is very important concept. Next is dot structure. I have included this because in most of the papers they have given this question to write the dot structure. Usually they ask about methane, ethane. Okay. But you have to practice the dot structure of methane, ethane, ethene and ethyne. Methane is CH4. You can see C and 4H. Hydrogen is 4. So that is CH4, and this is the way of writing the dot structure. You have to make a point of dot and X there. And this X shows the carbon atom is making bond with the covalent bond with the hydrogen atom. The second one is ethane. Ethane means the second one, that is C2H6. Okay, so 2 carbon atoms are there and 6 hydrogen atoms are there, C2H6. So this is the dot structure of ethane. Next is ethene. So ethene is C2H4. So C2H4, again it is making bonding with 2 carbon atoms with the 4 hydrogen atom. So that is ethene. Next is ethyne, YNE. So here it is making bonding with the 2. The formula is C2H2. Okay. So ethane, ethene and ethyne. So you have to practice the dot structures of all these 4 compounds. Next, branching in hydrocarbons. So these are the basic branchings how we do in hydrocarbons, and these examples are also very important. Usually they give this question for 2 marks. That is to write the structure of ethane, propane, 1-butene and 2-butene, butane, 2-methyl propane, which is also called as isobutane, cyclohexane and benzene. So it is better you have to practice the structure of it. So butene, ENE is there. ENE means double bond should be there. ANE, if alkane comes, ANE comes, single bond should be there. And if YNE comes, here YNE is not there, YNE comes, then triple bond you should use. And the most important structure is cyclohexane and benzene. In most of the papers they have given to write the, that is they have asked us to write the structure of cyclohexane and benzene. So benzene is the aromatic hydrocarbon, and you can see here the alternate double bonds and single bonds in that. And it is very important structure. Next is carbon skeleton and a complete structure. In the left side you can see the carbon skeleton structure, the two possible carbon skeleton. The first one, figure 4.8 as per your textbook of NCERT. That is the carbon skeleton. Carbon skeleton means it is not making any bond with other elements like hydrogen. Okay. And the second, that is figure 4.8b. The same carbon skeleton in 4.8a has become a complete molecule when hydrogen atom is bonded with it, covalent bonded with it. Okay. So when a skeleton, that is a carbon skeleton, is bonded with hydrogen, then it is said to be a complete molecule. So in the third figure, that is figure 4.9, also shows that structure of cyclohexane. Cyclo means cyclic. In a cyclic chain or a ring structure it will form hexane. Hex means 6 carbon atoms. Hex, you can see the table of that and you have to read the numbers. Methane means 1 carbon atom. Ethane means 2 carbon atom. Propane means 3 carbon atom. And butane means 4. Like that, pentane, hexane, heptane, it goes on. So cyclohexane has 6 carbon atom in a cyclic order. And the first diagram, A diagram, is the carbon skeleton, whereas a complete molecule, it makes a complete molecule only when it takes a bonding with hydrogen atom. I hope you understood the carbon skeleton and complete molecule. So this is, as I told you, the very important structural formula of benzene. Either you can write one of the other. The first diagram also you can write this, or you can write this, or both you can write in your exam if they ask you. Okay, so this is the cyclic structure of benzene, and it is also called as a benzene ring. The formula for benzene ring is, or a benzene is C6H6, 6 carbon atom and 6 hydrogen atom. So this is the formula for benzene. Molecular formula is C6H6, and structural formula you can see the diagram here, where you have to write alternate one after the other, single and double bond. Next, the last topic of this session, that is functional groups. Up to here I told you about the carbon making bonds with hydrogen, but the carbon not only makes bonding with hydrogen, it also makes bonding with other compounds, other elements also. So that is called as functional groups. So organic compounds are classified by the presence of characteristic functional groups. So what is a functional group? A functional group is defined as an atom or a group of atoms that effectively determines the chemical properties of an organic compound. You can see here in the first group, halogen. Halogen means prefix chloro or bromo. Chloro is chlorine and bromo is bromine. You can see in the example given, not only with the hydrogen atom, there is a Cl, that is chlorine atom is bonded with carbon atom, right? So this type of structures is said to be functional group. That Cl is said to be functional group. Okay. So this atom is called as chloropropane. Why chloropropane? First is chloro, because in functional group it has come in prefix, means first chloro, Cl, chlorine. Next prop. Prop means 3 carbon atom. 3 carbon atom is making single bond. Therefore chloropropane, Ane should come. Or else in the place of chlorine we can replace bromine, Br. So it will become bromopropane. Bromine is there and 3 carbon atom is prop, single bond, so Ane. So bromopropane. In the same way, next alcohol comes. Alcohol as a suffix, not prefix, suffix. See, prefix means in the starting of the name itself it should come, chloro, in the starting. Whereas prefix means in the end it has to come. Okay. So alcohol is ignified by OH. Chlorine, chloro by Cl and bromo by Br. In the same way, alcohol by OH. Okay. So here 3 carbon atoms are there. 3 carbon atom means propa, whereas OH means alcohol. So propanol, it should be propanol. Next, aldehyde. If aldehyde comes, then it should be in HOAL. Okay. So here what happens? 3 carbon atom with double bond is there. Double bonded O will come. So this is aldehyde. Okay. So that is called as propanol. If Al comes, then it is a aldehyde. If OL comes, then it is alcohol. Then it is ketone. Ketone is a suffix of ONE, where it will be named as propanol. ONE comes. Carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid is COOH will comes into the point. Here it will become carboxylic acid will become propanoic acid. So next, double bond alkenes. So double bonded means it is ENE. So propene will come. So next is last, triple bond means alkyne. So propane will come. So this is just an example which I have taken on only propane. In the same way it will come for butane and pentane, hexane, etc. So but you have to be careful about writing these structures and molecular formula, which is very important. Last is heteroatoms with example. In organic chemistry, a heteroatom is any atom that is not carbon or hydrogen. So any atom which is not carbon or hydrogen but which makes a bonding with the other atom is said to be heteroatom. Usually the term is used to indicate non-carbon atom having replaced carbon in the backbone. Backbone means the structure. The structure of the structure formula is said to be backbone of carbon of a molecular structure. Typically, heteroatoms are nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, phosphorus, chlorine, bromine and iodine. So here heteroatom, first one is chlorine or bromine. Functional group is halogens and formula is that is a single bonded Cl and a single bonded Br, substitutes for hydrogen atom. Next, oxygen. Oxygen comes in the place of alcohol functional group, then it will become bonded OH, aldehyde for CHO with a double bond, ketone for only CO double bond, carboxylic acid COOH. So these things you have to keep it in mind. When chlorine comes, it is Cl, bromine, Br for alcohol, single bonded OH, aldehyde, C double bonded, that is CHO will come with the one double bond, ketone, CO with a double bond and carboxylic acid COOH with a one double bond with O. So these are the things you have to keep it in mind. So in this video, I have covered the basic concepts in carbon and its compounds. That is, what is carbon and what is the versatile nature of it, the properties, that is the unique property of it, catenation and tetravalency, which is very important concept. Next is the types of hydrocarbons with the explanation of hydrocarbons and straight and branched and cyclic structures. Next, the definition of saturated and unsaturated. Last is the functional groups and isomerism. I hope you understood all the very important concept in this video. If you have any suggestions or queries or doubts, please comment me on the comment section below. Thank you.